Cllaro is one of the oldest nonprofits in this country, focusing on enabling and empowering Latinos so that they can thrive at home, at work, and at school. Cllaro's mission is simple: empowerment through leadership development, advocacy, and research.
Cllaro is that big sister, the big brother, that is supposed to be there to encourage you and tells you everything is going to be okay. And if you have problems, we'll help you through it.
What makes me most excited about the work that Cllaro is doing and what we'll be doing moving forward is that our new strategic focus is really going to be on developing leaders and focusing on the fellowship program. That makes me excited because I really believe that that is where we will have most impact to really improve the lives of Latinos in Colorado.
The Capital Fellows Program allows us to put young adults into the political system and expose them to the issues that are impacting their community and their neighborhoods.
The Cllaro program is really setting me up for the future in this field, and I think it's setting me up for a position to educate, people in my community. It's giving me the tools I need to empower them and to make the law and make the government seem less intimidating to them.
When I came to the Capital Fellows program, I found that it really helped me not just find a passion, but to channel that passion.
Ultimately, my goal in life is to help the community in which I came from, starting with the kids, because I had such great role models. I felt like I had so many mentors, and if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be where I am.
The importance of having Latino leadership really being developed from this stage early on in a young person's career or in their professional development, it means that there's representation at a local and state level of the Latino voice.
When you're Latino in the United States, you don't really feel like the government works for you, and I think in some cases we have to take it upon ourselves to make that change.
It's extremely important for us to be at the table. They say that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, right? And so a lot of times Latinos have been discounted, overlooked, and our voices haven't been heard. If we're not in those meetings, if we're not on the floor, if we're not having the ear to policymakers, they're not listening to us.
Communities of Latinos in Colorado have largely been left out of a lot of conversations. And so to be able to really prepare someone with great data, research-backed policy recommendations so that they can have a voice and make it heard once they get a seat at that table, that's power.
And that's where our advocacy and research start to take off. We develop community programs around the advocacy that is really being driven by and being fed by the work that our Capital Fellows participants provide us. We wrap that with some sound research and data so that we can take positions on policy, again, with the goal of doing one thing, and that is empowering our Latino community so that they're thriving at home, at school, and at work.
In the future, I think Cllaro will help me possibly maybe run for office one day, possibly, run a nonprofit one day, and be of service to my community, especially the Latino community.
What makes me most excited about the Capital Fellowship program is this idea that there's culturally responsive leadership development training that honors Latino young leaders' culture, but also really develops them and prepares them to be an active voice for their communities at a state level.
My experience with Cllaro has been something that I never thought it could be, but I feel like I really found my niche. It makes you want to be a better person. It makes you want to advocate for the community.
I got a chance to work on policy. I got a chance to be the proverbial fly on the wall. And at the same time, I got a chance to learn more about myself, the things that I was interested in, the things that I wanted to do, and how I could influence policy.
Before my experience as a Capital Fellow, I really didn't have the confidence to be a leader. Subconsciously, I think I was afraid of my own success, and so I held myself back from having any. Since I began the fellowship, I've enjoyed a new success every week, and those victories really only motivate me to achieve exponentially more every day.
Everybody who is in the Capitol who has known about Cllaro, they're always just like they tell me you're gonna go places. It makes me feel so good. Latinos, Hispanics, Chicanos, we don't get involved with policy. We don't really have anybody who's doing it, so we don't know that life. We think that it's so far out and we think we're so distant from it, when in reality, we're the people that should be in it.
Cllaro really does a great job of paving the way to the Capitol. and paving the way to government, paving the way to politics.
Speaking as a minority female, it has been an unparalleled opportunity for me to have access to legislators and local policy and being able to advocate for myself and for others in my community. Since I graduated from the Cllaro Capital Fellows program, I found that now I shape my future. My future does not shape me.
If Cllaro can do that just for one person like myself, can you imagine how many people have been inspired and will be inspired? This is a program that has to stick around because we need the mentors.
More of these organizations need to exist so that more Latinos have access to politics and access to that realm.
It is important that we support Capital Fellows here at Cllaro. We need to put young adults who are informed on the issues back in the community so that ultimately they can influence and help overcome the barriers that we've faced for many, many generations.
Given the challenges of the current political climate, it's ever so important that we continue to support the Cllaro's Capital Fellowship program so that Latino students can continue to advocate for themselves and for others in their community.
Building and developing leaders is the most important part of making any kind of substantial change in our culture, in our state, in our nation, in our world. And so that is something that's really powerful and that I'm excited to be a part of.
I think the opportunity to support Capital Fellows is now. There is so much noise in our communities right now. There's so much noise nationally. By supporting Capital Fellows, you are helping those young adults take that first step in leadership.